Good afternoon, vinyl community. Anthony up in Boston. Gambler 812. I want to kill two birds with one stone with this video. I want to do a quick vinyl and CD find, some recent purchases that I did, and I also want to hop on my good friend Alex over at Beer and Vinyl. He's running a contest. He wants you to show 5 of your favorite songs or albums that pertain to loved ones. So Alex is a great guy. I want to support his channel. So let's get going. Speaking of supporting a channel, my good friend Steve over All the World's a Stage, Trevor, Flat Round and Spun, and Marsha P sent me over a t-shirt. Thank you so much, guys. I love it. Fits great. Looks great. Great show. Sundays, every other Sunday. Sunday Night Vinyl Confessions. All right, let's get into some vinyl finds. Recent pickups. Wow, am I pumped to get this on vinyl. This is the goth band Gene Loves Jezebel, completely remastered, new artwork, live in Voodoo City, 1998. It was mastered up here in Boston. Killer set list, sounds phenomenal. It's on Coke bottle green vinyl, inner sleeves are just as cool. You know, it's very rare that I am drawn into an album or artwork, but they knocked it out of the park with this. I mean, I could see myself in this photo looking onward at this goth castle. The graphics are just, they're phenomenal. Custom labels on this Coke bottle green. The sound quality on this is superb. Has all the hits. Josephine, A Sweet Sweet Rain, Kiss of Life is probably my favorite of the set here. Word of advice, pick this album up. It's absolutely phenomenal. They did a fantastic job. So pumped to finally have this on vinyl. Gene Loves Jezebel. Fantastic. I also picked up Linkin Park's greatest hits. This is called Paper Cuts. If you're a collector that likes to have greatest hits, this is definitely for you. It has everything on it. This is the indie exclusive. It's on this red, black, gray, and white vinyl. Sounds great. Killer song listing. Has everything on here. Pick up Paper Cups. Paper Cuts. Good stuff. Now, these here were Goodwill finds. I haven't found anything at Goodwill. Usually it's a Savers, but Goodwill, I gotta say, last week I came across some good stuff for $1 each, man. $1 each. Donovan's greatest hits. Now, this is not a rare record to find at a thrift shop by all means, but I'd never seen it in a gatefold. I have to be careful what picture I show here, so I'm just going to throw this. I had never seen this album as a gatefold, and it's a very common album to find. But, you think of Donovan, and you're like, okay, it's, just poppy stuff. It's not. There's some psych stuff on there, man. That's a great album by Donovan. Love it. I also came across Jim Croce, Greatest Hits. My good friend Don, the old goat, Black Oak, Arkansas. This is called Street Party. $1, Don. Amazing find. Paul Butterfield Blues Band. I already own this. This is Keep On Moving. But for $1, I am not leaving that. Elvis for everyone. Now, my good friend Aaron, Mutha Alaman, he just sent me this album. Thank you, Aaron, but there's no way I'm leaving Elvis in this condition for $1. No chance. I did not have this Elvis album. This is called the Elvis Medley. All Elvis is good Elvis. The best of Tommy James and the Shondells. $1. The best of Dwayne Allman. My man MGK Boston already has dibs on this. Mike, I'll just add it to your pile. Speaking of your pile, The late great Dickie Betts. This was actually a real good listen, Mike. I listened to it and I enjoyed it. Good stuff there. And I also picked up the Hollies Greatest Hits. Amazing stuff, man. I like all that, 60s stuff. Really good. Now, on to some Savers CD finds. GNR, Use Your Illusion 2. They had part 1, but it was trashed. And if it's trashed, I'm not picking it up. Violent Femmes, 1981 to 1993. Amazing stuff here from them. This is their hits. Queen, Live Magic. Sex Pistols. We all know this album. I'll take it on CD. And to wrap it up, the Rat Pack. Now, this is called the Rat Pack Collection. I already have the CD, but this one here also included a DVD. $1.99. I'm all over it. So that's all I have for my finds. Now I want to jump in for my good friend Alex on his contest. He wants you to show 5 albums that remind you of loved ones, or people in your life. Here we go. Van Halen 1. What reminds me of this album? So I remember being a young kid, either 11 years old, 13 years old, playing wiffle ball in the streets, running the bases, street hockey, basketball, football, all with the older crowd on my street. I mean, I have an older brother, but he's only 3 years older than me. And these guys here, man, when I was 13, they were like 19, 20 years old. And, they were into some degenerate behavior, which I love. And they were always cranking this album while we were playing football in the street and playing basketball. One track in particular, You Really Got Me. Constant, man. These guys were, once it would side one would finish, one of them would run upstairs, flip it over, constantly being cranked out. Van Halen. Okay, this is a crazy one. I don't have this on vinyl. Ozzy Osbourne, the album Osmosis. Crazy story to accompany this album. So, oh man, I had to be early 20s. And I received a phone call from my cousin Steven, who is a brother to me. And it had to be 12:30, 1 a.m. And I live up on the North Shore of Boston, but my cousin Steven was dating this girl who lived down in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, which was like an hour and a half away. And my phone rang. He goes, Anthony, I need you. His girlfriend at the time was at a party, and there was, stuff going on. So he goes, I don't want to run down there solo. Can you take a ride with me? So, of course, absolutely, bud. Come pick me up. This album was blared from Boston down to Cape Cod. One track in particular, Tomorrow. If you have not heard the song Tomorrow off of this album, it is a killer song by Ozzy. But every time I hear this album, I instantaneously get brought back to that car ride from Boston down to Cape Cod. Perry Mason, Tomorrow, I Just Want You. I love this album, man. Killer stuff from Ozzy. Steven, we all know. Crazy. All right, next up is Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. So when I hear this album, I get brought back to a car ride with my mom, my dad, and my brother. We took a car ride up to the state of Maine, and specifically, I remember I had this on cassette. I was listening to a Walkman, and it was constant flip back and forth. Stay Hungry. I believe it was like a 4-hour car ride, and up and back was nothing but Stay Hungry. Great album by Twisted Sister. Okay, my number 2 and my number 1, they're both number 1, and you'll understand why. Taylor Swift, 1989, My Little Girl. This album here, reminds me of my daughter Adriana, and the first time I showed her how to run my turntable, and just sitting down next to her, watching her look at this gatefold, read the lyrics, and mostly dance to the music. Oh man, nothing like it. My little girl Adriana, this one is forever going to remind me of you. And that's 1B and 1A. Kiss Alive, my son Anthony. My favorite song from Kiss is Black Diamond. It's obviously now my son's favorite Kiss song because I play it so much. But Kiss Alive was the very first album that I taught him how to use my turntable. And he absolutely loves Kiss. He loves Metallica. Whatever I like, he likes. You know how that rolls, which I'm very happy about. But the reason I remember, I think of him during this album is he was away at a dance competition for my daughter, and my wife had sent video over to me of they were doing karaoke in the room, and sure enough, my little boy, he was singing Black Diamond on karaoke to a bunch of dance competition girls, rocking out, made his dad proud. Anyways, Alex, that's all I got for you, my friend. Hopefully, God willing, I will get to see you at MGK Boston's party come July, and looking to cracking a beer with you, my friend. Rock on, VC. Have a good day.